Peace, everybody. This is Dan DeAndre back with a beatbox. Took some time off. It's been a while, but with this information, I had to come make a video. Now, Happy New Year to everybody, and I hope you all are having fun times with your families. Hope you had a good Merry Christmas. All that stuff, holiday cheer. Don't get too wasted. We still got responsibilities in the morning. But I wanted to come in and talk about Terrence Crawford and the Inoue situation with the fighter of the year. So we know Inoue is respectfully fighter of the year, but apparently Terrence Crawford, I guess, doesn't feel the same. Apparently, Terrence Crawford feels that he is fighter of the year. I mean, he did win in outstanding fashion. I still am, and always will be an Errol Spence fan, hardcore. But he did lose terribly to Terrence Crawford, and Terrence Crawford is rightfully undisputed. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He's the top dog at 147, but you can't deny that what Inoue has been able to do is very, very historical. We haven't seen it in a long time since Manny. So and he's making his way from 130 all the way up. So hopefully, we could get a maybe a Lomachenko fight if he decides to go down. We don't know. He's getting up there in age, but it's still. Still a lot of room for that because Loma is a dog, but that's neither here nor there. But I definitely wanted to come talk about that because it's very interesting. I remember Floyd Mayweather, when they asked him about Inoue. Excuse me, I'm just I got my tea right here. But when they asked Floyd about Inoue, he did say he was a very good fighter and that he is the real deal and that he's not a phony. But he did say something that did, well, it's Floyd. So Floyd wants to see him fight in America. And then he wants him to have, I don't know if it was Olympic testing or VADA testing. I think that was the big question that Floyd was really trying to make a statement about, was that that he does believe that he is a good fighter and he does believe the hype, but he would like to see him fight in America. Under USADA rules in Vegas. So, I think that's interesting. I think that, yeah, I think that would, probably solidify his or not his, but our belief in Inoue and that he is a pound for pound number one or definitely a top tier talent. But, for a guy like Terrence Crawford who has no choice but to go through USADA and VADA testing and things like that. I could see why he would make an argument that he is pound for pound number one, but Crawford, he hasn't necessarily done what Inoue. Well, he's done it. It's just in the fashion that Inoue is doing, especially after was it Stephen Colbert he beat? No, not Stephen Colbert. Who was it? Damn, his name slips my mind right now, man. He won in remarkable fashion. The black dude, if you guys could put it in the comments, the last black dude he beat, he beat him flawlessly. But a lot of people question Inoue because of that. That he fights, not in the States and he fights outside of the country. And you got a guy like Terrence who fights in country and dominates people in the same fashion, but. I'm really neither here nor there. I think Inoue has done enough to gain the respect of the populace and all boxing fans. But at the same time, you cannot just disregard the beating that Terrence dished out to Errol. Whether he was weight trained or not, they still walked into the ring. So. It's a very, very interesting conversation in the boxing community right now. But I think Inoue has done enough, especially with the divisions that he's conquered so far. I think that he's done enough to be taken seriously, especially as a number one pound for pound. I think if Terrence thinks that he's pound for pound, I think he's done enough too to be considered a pound for pound. But it's very subjective at this point. That whoever you talk to, they might have a different reason for why they're pound for pound. But I think all reasons are valid. Especially with those two guys. But Terrence has a pretty tough road ahead because we got Boots wants him, and you got Thurman. We got Virgil Ortiz coming up in the 147. A lot of people aren't even talking about Virgil. Who else at 147? Shit. With the Devin Haney fight, him and Devin Haney are going back and forth. But I think Devin Haney should try to conquer 140, focus on T.O., Rolly, Ryan, those guys. Leave 147 at 147 for Terrence and Boots and them. As Devin's still young. So, Devin, I think recently they saw Devin walking around at like 175 or something like that. So, I could see Devin going up to middleweight and maybe having some success at middleweight. But as far as Crawford and Inoue, I think Inoue can continue to move up. A lot of people are trying to compare him to Pacquiao. I really, I think people need to hold their brakes on that just for right now, because they let out a list too. I think it was by 28 or 29, like both comparisons with Pacquiao and Inoue. They're the champions they defeated by those ages. And Pacquiao, surprisingly, Pacquiao's resume was just damn near immaculate. The names that were on that resume of champions that he beat by the age of 28 or 29, where Inoue only had Nonito Donaire. So it's subjective, like I said before. Depending on who you talk to, people might come up with different answers for why they're pound for pound. Me personally, I'm cool with either one. I think either one is deserving to be pound for pound. I think Terrence has done enough. I think Inoue has done enough. I'm actually very intrigued to see what they do next. It's a very exciting time in boxing. I know a lot of people, they tend to say that boxing is a dying sport. I couldn't disagree more. I think boxing is doing just fine, and it's where it needs to be. A lot of people they talk about boxing, but they're not boxing enthusiasts. They really don't know what they're looking at when they're looking at these fights. It's actually kind of disturbing to actually go out sometimes and and see a lot of people try to engage into the fight and try to comment or give a comment and opinion on the fight when they really don't know what they're looking at and they really don't know what they're talking about. So that's whatever. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know who is your pound for pound in the comments. Is it Inoue? Is it Crawford? And we could talk about it in the comments section. I'll be back uploading another video very soon, and I'll see you guys. Peace.